Right, so it is Friday, the 7th of April now. I'm just warming up the 7.6. The fertilizer spreader is on the back of it now. The 54 is warming up as well, just above it, with the forks. But I'm just checking on a heifer here that I had to give regular posts on Instagram about. I'm just going to have a quick look in here. And this is our last heifer, 9:31 to calve. And today is Friday, and we've been kind of doing guesses online of when she might calve. I'm just looking at our backbones here now. They are definitely going down, and that elder has filled up a lot now. You can see this lump here underneath her. If those of you that aren't from the farming background, that lump there, that's just springing, as we call it. That's the milk vein that goes down the bottom of a cow. And when a cow, or heifer more or less in this case, you rarely see it on a cow after they've had their first calf. You can, but it's not as common. But on a heifer, for the first time, they spring up like that, and some people reckon it's a good sign to see that happen. But that will go down over time, and that's nothing normal. I'm hoping by looking at her, she'll calve later on this evening. That'd be brilliant. More than likely it'll be tonight. Anyway, our 902 is on. Our fertilizer we're going to be putting on, this is silage cut, so it's 24, 2.5, 10. You might also see they have a well strapped down, particularly to this side. Well, I put on Instagram about what happened there. It happens every year. When we go to our co-op, it's only about 5 miles from our house, less. There's a road that we have to come home, and it's absolutely brutal. The one we go over to our other farm, it only took me about 10 minutes to get to the co-op, less, on the tractor. It took me about 40 minutes, 45 minutes to come home. I was going that slow, and even with that, it wanted to fall. So only I had the straps with me, which I always bring now. That wouldn't be on the trailer when I got home. That's the only way we can get it home. That co-op that we use doesn't deliver, so you have to go and collect it, or sometimes in summertime I just drive the tractor up and fill the sower directly at the co-op and just drive home. I'm on my way over now with the second spreader full, and I wish I could tell you that everything went to plan. If I had filmed or had done a little video about a half an hour ago, I would have been smiling from ear to ear telling you this is going great. But our backfield, the one I was always worried about, the one that's always slower to dry out, and it's an awkward little, you're going to say something else there, it's an awkward little field to work in, put it that way. I almost got into quite a bit of trouble at the bottom of it. And I'm not exaggerating, I'll show you at the end of this video. If you want drama in a video, well, that was the time I probably should have took the camera out of the tractor and showed you the mess that I was in, but really, I never even thought of the camera. I just wanted to get out of where I was. I went into the backfield, I done one circle around, and into a place that I should have known better about. I should have walked it before I drove it. And I got myself into a little bit of bother. But I still got 3/4 of that field done. Again, we look at it when I'm done. But I will leave it for a few days and come back into it later on. So I'm going to go in here into the big field here, and I'm going to make a good start into it. Again, there's places I'm just going to completely avoid where I know can be wet. I'm just going to, like in here, just inside the gate, is one of them. So I'm going to completely avoid that. I'm not going to do the very tip top of the hill either, or the back of it. I'm just going to do what I think is relatively the dry areas and keep away from all of the wet areas. And I'm going to come back on Monday and chance another couple of spots, or I might just hook on the quad spreader. I have to say to myself, I have a quad spreader there, use it. Just as I walk, you can see the foot, how far it went down into the ground. You can see the water laying on the ground where the tracks was made when we were putting out the slurry. So this whole area here, around here, out about 500 yards or so, I'm going to completely avoid. That will soak up. It's just the extreme amount of rain we have had, and this is a place I need to fix anyway. I need to put a shore in here. I need to clean out that drain, and there are a couple of drains, or a couple of shores, we call them tiles, to call them in America, but we need to do something here. That'll be done, but for now these are the kind of spots I'm going to have to watch. I know about them, and just go round them. It'll look hideous from the road, so if you like your straight lines and stuff, then definitely you wouldn't want to be looking at this field. But there kind of is a method behind all that madness, so let's get at it. So just going to avoid that wet spot that we talked about. If I look stressed, I'm not stressed, I'm just concentrating. This is part of farming. This happens regularly on lots of farms, and you just have to adapt and get on with it. There's no such thing as a perfect world, and you'll always get problems like this. You just have to think around it, come up with a different solution, and work with that. It'll always work out in the end. It always does. No matter how bad it gets, and I've seen this in an awful mess, way worse than this, cut to bits. We always got around it, we always got it fixed, and we always got on with it, like most farmers do. So we'll keep that in mind as we plough into this. No, not plough, plough's a bad word, as we drive into this. For updates on the cottage is just after passing it there. Nothing done to it. It's not the time of year, it's way too wet, you couldn't get near it, and it's way too busy on the farm at the moment as well. This is the busiest time on a lot of farms, especially dairy farms and sheep farms as well with our lambing. So I won't be going near it till about May or so, and then we'll be doing a fix up on that shed on the side of it. The kids want to get painting it. Look, it's a bit of crack for them. It's not for the price of a bit of paint, so I'll power wash it down and give it a bit of a paint. But the real work, or the real job, or the real idea of what we want to do with it will be updated around about May. Going up here, Mr. Hare's run up along the hedge. I'm not going up any further up here because I know this can be real dodgy up here. So I'm just going to cut across right around here. We're going to leave the top of that hill for now. Yeah, that's wet, I can see that. So I'm going to cut down just below this drinker because it's another wet spot. Not this a major wet spot. It'll be wet after the amount of rain we had. I just know that that area there is going to be wet. So we're going to horse across here and hopefully this spot's not too bad. This bankment will be fairly dry until I get down to this lower tree. Now when I get down to this tree here in the middle, I'm going to have to cut out because that is not dry. Now I'll just cut out here. So it really is just a matter of knowing your own fields. But yeah, that is kind of the first run done. Hopefully won't be too much drama. There's another wet spot just here beside me there. I know I have to watch out for as well. There's a little track from when we put the slurry out, so at least I can see where it is. Sorry, I'm telling you guys in the camera, but I'm actually telling myself as well, because if the camera wasn't on, I'd probably be talking to myself exactly the same way. I'm giving up for the day. It's just gone 1:30 now. I started this at 10:30, and I have that 4 tons in the trailer out, completely finished. I have to go and get fertilizer right now, so I have no other choice, and today is Good Friday, so nowhere's opened. Home now, wash this spreader, and I'll pick it up on Monday. Welcome back, bank holiday Monday, and our spreader is now on the back of the quad. So we're just lifting up this lid and having a look. My instruction book is still in there, so I'm going to have a quick read of that. The only thing I want to know about is settings. It's going to be a wee bit tricky just getting used to how much we're putting on per acre, what speed we should be travelling. Now the first place I'm going now, which probably would have been better off going into a flat paddock, a small flat paddock, and trying to get it right from there, but I'm going into one of the steepest parts on our farm, just a place where we couldn't get in with the tractor. I'm going to show you when we're over here onto the farm. This little thing here I got as well back a while ago actually, which goes into the bottom of the bag. A lot of people might know straight away what that is. If you don't, well, you just lift your bag up, you sit it down on top of that, and then you've got a little lid on the bottom you can open and close, so you don't have to empty your full bag into it. I'm not sure about weight and all, what it's going to be like when it's full. I've never had anything like that on the back of a quad before. I got that there actually with just one of my local co-ops. We have 2 co-ops that we buy a lot of our stuff in, between meal and fertiliser and things, just our local co-ops. But there's one there called McCabe Feeds. They have a whole new complex built. If you would have seen on Instagram, I put up a post not that long ago that I was going to it, an event. They built this huge big place now, new shop, everything, all up online as well. Go over there and check them out. They're local to us, and if they get a bit of business out of it, all the better. But that's where I got this. They were running special offers that day, and when we were up, I picked this one up. One thing I do have to do is put this guy here on. I've just been looking here. Your washer on top of it. There we are. That'll keep that closed, hopefully. Yep. There's not very much left in it, and that little lad, I didn't put it dead on the centre, so it wasn't exactly in the right place. Again, it's just something we're getting used to using, but it done what it was supposed to do, and we're fit to close it off. But it will hold it all, that much I can guarantee. It will hold it all. It's just I don't want to go too full too soon till we get this one empty first and see where we're at. So let's get over to the farm. See how much we're using. Yeah, we're not racing, sir. Alright, so that's it. That's the silage ground finish. We had about 4 acres that we didn't get done, and we got it done quite quickly here with this. I still have a wee bit left in the bottom, which I'm going to put in a paddock just over here, a steep little bit of a paddock. But it's going well. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's spreading fertiliser. I think I have the settings more or less okay now. I might have to make a little bit of adjustment on it yet. And once you get it right once, that's it. You're flying then after that. You know then where you work from there. This area here, just give you an idea where the ground is this year. This is steep ground, what I'm standing on now. And at the bottom of this hill, this backfield here we call, there's used to be an old flax mill over there. That left at the bottom of this field here, there's about a 20-30 foot drop straight down. You don't know if you can see through them bushes and things. Maybe here's a bit of a clearance here. Yeah, you can kind of see there now. So you nearly have another river that's closed off now, but that's where the water used to come to go over and power that mill. At the bottom of this field, I was come across with the fertiliser spreader, and one place you do not want to end up is down there. And just all of a sudden, boom. And it mightn't look that bad now on the camera, but that was it. She just went. The sod just went from underneath the tractor and down she went. And every time I'd try to go forward, she'd go that way. Backwards, that way. So lucky enough, after a bit of twisting and manoeuvring, I got out of there. I did think at one stage I was going to have to call in help just to get someone with a chain just to pull me back up If you went down much further there, she could just keep going, and that wouldn't be, you don't want to be doing that. So it just gives you an idea. That's the only bit of damage we actually done on our silage fields. And hey, I'll come over here with a shovel. I won't come down here a roller, it's too late in the year or anything for that. I'll just come down here when it's dried out with a shovel, and I'll just rake that all in with a clay rake and a shovel, and you won't see it. But the quad drove there. If you can see the two lines right by it, not a single mark. And bear in mind, we had a lot of rain last night. This is bank holiday Monday, so this was drier when I went in on it with the tractor, so don't think it has soaked up, because it hasn't. And then I went in again here on the lower side with the quad, you can see here, and got a bit done here as well. So it's all covered. There's the fertilizer on top of it now. So look, it's obviously a great tool. It allows you to get into places that you won't get in with a tractor. Now, it's not all good, and one of the things is this handle. You're reaching too far back from the quad. Now, I had to remove the box. You'll notice the box is gone, because when the box was on, it wouldn't open. Now, that's not a problem. I kind of knew I was going to have to do that anyway. But even with the box off, you really have to reach far too far back to get this, and it's very uncomfortable to do so. So what I would do with that is I would drill 2 holes here, and I'd fit something over that handle, just bring it further in to about there, that I can open and close it much easier, because that, no, you're stretching back that much, you're nearly falling off the back of the quad trying to turn it off and on. And it's nice when you're in a small field like this and you can't go round and round it, it's nice to be able to turn it off with ease. So I would do that definitely straight away. It seems very, very steady on the ground. I crossed a couple of very steep spots over there on the top hill, and it didn't seem to bounce or want to jump over. I thought maybe that would be a problem with them being top heavy, maybe, and being an issue that way, that you could roll them over. But I think you'd have to really be giving it welly to do that. It seems to be fairly solid on its wheelbase, and I suppose a wider wheelbase like that there benefits that. That's it. That's the first use of the spreader. We'll see it in other videos as well when I'm doing grazing ground and getting a wee bit more used to it. One thing I will say today is the first day where there's a little bit of growth, you can feel the heat. You can see it coming off the ground on the horizon. You see that little bit of a heat mist coming off the top of the ground. That's the first time I've seen that in a long time. So grass is starting to grow. Today is, what date is today? They lost track. The 20th of April, so it's Thursday the 20th of April, and you can already see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up again, but you can already see that grass has got really dark green and it is growing. Still not really summery weather, but we're still technically in spring, but it's not that real weather that, just hasn't got the right feel about it yet, but at least it's drying. It's really good drying weather, and things are starting to look up. I'm just watching these heifers at the minute. I come over here, I drop a bit of silage with them, and I stand with them for about 15 minutes to see is any of them coming in heat, because these 4 here that are standing together, I want to get them served. I have one of them just after being served. I want to get these 3 other ones done, and as soon as they're done, outside, because these ones here, we're going to be leaving them for another while, let them grow a little bit before we serve them. Not very long, they won't need very long. So hopefully next week they'll be outside. There's plenty of grass for them. I don't want the grass getting too strong either, so out they'll go. Things are moving forward. Summer is slowly but surely getting there, and it does lift your spirits to see the weather drying up, to see the sun out, blue skies. It's the small little things like that that just give you that boost that you badly need. Anyway guys, as my phone just texts me to tell me to come home for dinner, yep, see you in the next one.